Now here is a very interesting follow-up to the Red Dead Redemption 2 story that I covered a few days ago. The game has now been officially classified over in Australia for a computer release, that's how they identify it, but I'm starting to think that an RDR2 release on PC might be coming sooner than we had originally thought, at least sooner than I had originally thought. I mean, I was thinking this game was going to be coming 2021, but we'll talk all about that. Also, I want to talk a little bit about Noita. That's a game that I mentioned yesterday, and it was a game that was going a little under the radar. I didn't hear a lot of people talking about it. Well, lo and behold, today it has launched up to becoming the top seller on Steam. That's as of the recording of this video. Obviously, things like that fluctuate all the time, but cool to see that game doing really well. And for those of you guys that dig your Metroidvanias, I do want to highlight a brand new game called Outbuddies that's coming to PC on October 15th, so we'll talk that at the end of this video. But first up, Red Dead Redemption 2, after its initial request for classification in Australia for a PC version, so yes, a PC version's not even announced, but for whatever reason, Rockstar is trying to get RDR2 on PC classified in Australia. It has now been classified, so they are good to go for the game being released in Australia. Now, what does that mean? That probably means that the game, sooner rather than later, is looking to be released on PC. I had originally thought that Rockstar's MO with the release of the PC version is that they put out the console version, PS4 and Xbox One, last year. They were going to follow that up with a release on the next generation consoles, PlayStation 5 and the next Xbox, and then they would round things out by the ultimate definitive release on PC in, let's say, early 2021. That's what I was thinking, just on the basis that Rockstar would want to get people to triple dip on the game. That's just me thinking that all parties were going to be as greedy as possible and trying to make as much money as possible, but maybe even then, a little bit of the luster of RDR2 would have dissipated by then, because think about it. With GTA 5, the game came out in September of 2013, then it got followed up with a release on next-gen platforms in November of 2014, and then the PC version finally came in April of 2015. Overall, PC gamers had to wait around 16 months. If we went with the original game plan that I had imposed, that was the console release that already happened back in October of 2018, that would be followed up by a next-gen release in late 2020. Finally, the PC version would be released in early 2021. Well, at that point, PC gamers would be left waiting 2.5 years. 2.5 years, a lot more than, let's say, 16 months. You're talking just about double the time period, 30 months versus 15 months, and if you're waiting that long, I do think some of the luster would have dissipated for Red Dead Redemption 2 versus GTA 5, and you have to think about it, as much as I love RDR, and I like RDR more than GTA, RDR I do not believe is as big as GTA. GTA 5 just transcended another level in terms of becoming that marquee game, whereas Red Dead Redemption 2, I do think would have lost a little bit of its cachet by the time if we were waiting until early 2021. I would still believe people would buy it, but it definitely would lose a little bit of its appeal, especially being a 2.5-year-old game priced at $60. You can only get away with so much, but again, this is all just speculation from my part. It also remains to be seen on whether or not this game will be released on Steam. I don't personally think it will be. I feel like Rockstar should go the Ubisoft route from a business standpoint to put the game on the Epic Games Store. Let's juice Epic Games for a lot of money, and then let's also put the game on our platform. If Ubisoft could do it, why can't Rockstar do it? And Red Dead Redemption 2 is probably bigger than any game Ubisoft could put out. And also, I imagine that Rockstar ultimately wants to get these games on their own platform, because as you guys probably know, a big element of GTA 5 is its microtransactions, and I believe how the current structure works, Steam gets a cut of all of those microtransactions. I imagine that Rockstar and Take-Two wants to keep all of that juicy microtransaction revenue, and they're probably looking to make a boatload of money off of it. They just offered GTA San Andreas to people that install the Rockstar launcher. I don't think that was done by sheer coincidence. I do think that ultimately they're going to try to branch out on their own platform. But I think if the game is released on the Rockstar launcher and the Rockstar launcher is usable, I don't think people are going to care all too much, especially because I wouldn't have a big deal, because that is a first-party game by Rockstar. It's just like Ubisoft wanting to release all their games on Uplay. Whatever, it's their game. They have the right to do whatever they want. What I'm not a big fan of is just buying up a lot of third parties, and you guys already know how I feel about that. Let me know in the comment section down below. I know we're just a small sample size, but what would be your game plan with Red Dead Redemption 2 if it did not release on Steam, if it was only available on the Rockstar launcher and the Epic Games Store? Because a lot of the times with these releases, the writing is sometimes on the wall, and I see that writing on the wall for RDR2 as well. I've been speculating this for quite a while, but now with all the ongoings of the Rockstar launcher, I'm starting to think that it's more and more of a reality. But honestly, what do I want? I want the release of Red Dead Redemption 1 on PC. I loved Red Dead Redemption 1, and I still feel like Rockstar is leaving a lot of money on the table without putting RDR 1 on PC. That game was just so tremendous. I love John Marston as a main character. Obviously, he's in RDR 2, but John Marston's story in RDR 1 was just something else, and I would love to go through that on PC. It doesn't even have to be the greatest port in the world. If you just want to bundle it, do a decent port, price it at $40 with Undead Nightmare, you know that would be selling north of millions upon millions of copies. So come on, Rockstar, can we just make that happen? I know that the game had a little bit of coding issues or whatever the case may be, and that was one of the reasons the game never came out on PC to begin with, but it is now 2019. I'm sure they have the resources and the funds available to somehow get RDR 1 running on PC. Do not tell me they don't, because they absolutely do. So hopefully they can make that happen, but it seems like sooner rather than later we are going to get an RDR 2 announcement on PC. Hopefully the game is out by the end of the year or early 2020. That would put it right at the same timeline as GTA 5, and I think waiting anything longer than that, at that point the game is going to start to lose a little bit of its luster. And again, this is a game that a lot of people already have a lot of criticism with based on Red Dead's online component. I thought Red Dead Redemption 2 single player was really good. I think the modding possibilities for the game are endless. However, there were a lot of people dissatisfied with the online play on console, so it's not like RDR 2 was this impervious game that is protected from any criticism. It did have its issues here and there. I love the game, but I'm not blinded to that at all. However, I do think the game will be a colossal success on PC. Alright, moving on from that, I do want to cover a couple of things really quickly. Noita was a game that I talked about yesterday, and it just hit early access on PC. A bunch of people are streaming it on Twitch, and also, it looks like that there's a lot of appeal for this game because it just jumped up to the top seller on Steam right now. Now, if you guys are unaware of what the game is, it's got a very old school pixel graphic art style, and it's a roguelike game, a magical action roguelike to be exact, set in a world where every pixel is physically simulated. Fight, explore, melt, burn, freeze, and evaporate your way through the procedurally generated world using spells you've created yourself. The game was released at $17.99, so a pretty palatable price point. It's got some great pixel-based graphics, procedurally generated world, and it was developed by just 3 people. 3 indie developers created the game. They did some notable games in the past. Petri Puro, he was the creator of Crayon Physics Deluxe. Oli Harjola did The Swapper back in 2013, and Arvi Tekari, he's done a couple of games, but one of the games he remembers making is Baba Is You. I know some of you guys are reluctant to picking up games in early access, but at the very least, I think it's a game that a lot of you guys will want to add to its wish list. And really cool to see that the Steam community has gathered around the game, because being the top seller is no small feat. Given that the Surge 2 released today, given that Code Vein is out this Friday and it's selling ahead of those 2 titles, that is pretty impressive. Obviously, it is a more budget title at $17.99, but nonetheless, that's something to check out right now. And lastly, another game that's coming to PC very soon is Outbuddies. That'll be coming to PC on October 15th, and this is a game that looks really cool. If you're into Metroidvania titles like Axiom Verge, this is a game that you definitely want to have on your radar. Old school Metroidvania games seem to be something that everybody can flock to right now. Metroidvania games in general, I know that there was a lot of appeal with a game like Dead Cells. Axiom Verge was big when it came out, and this one looks like it's following in suit. This one also has a very old school look to it. Looks like a Super Nintendo game, modernized a little bit. Some of the color palettes look really good, and it is going to be a difficult game, but it touts run, gun, and explore an open undercity in an otherworldly, non-linear Metroidvania adventure about the old gods, strange creatures, and the remnants of a lost world. On your journey home, you will share your fate with a friendly tribe of mining creatures, the Wozan, who fear the old gods and strive to get back to the surface since their ancestors had been enslaved 5,000 years ago. Some of them were able to flee and found secret colonies deep inside the sunken ruins. Others are still exploited by the hostile creatures that have overtaken the city since the old gods suddenly disappeared. It's got an open world of non-linear Metroidvania gameplay style, and it's going to be a title that I think is going to be up a lot of your guys' alley. Again, it'll be dropping October 15th, and I just did my top PC games coming in October. This is a game that I definitely would have mentioned, but as is the case with PC gaming, sometimes you just get games like this announced a few weeks before release, and then they come out directly thereafter, and that's kind of what's happening here, but still a cool game. I'll leave a link to it in the description box below if you guys do want to add it to your wish list. We don't have a price point, but I imagine it would be $14.99 or $19.99 at the most. $19.99, I believe, was the price for Axiom Verge, and that's what I'm comparing this to mostly. And that's gonna conclude this video, guys. Again, Red Dead Redemption 2 just got classified by the Australian Classification Board. I feel like a release or an announcement or something related to that is gonna be happening very soon. Noita is the top seller on Steam right now. Really cool to see that game doing well, and Outbuddies is hitting PC on October 15th. That's an interesting title that I wanted to get on your guys' radar. That's gonna wrap up this video. If you guys have a request for a future video, you can leave that in the comment section below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.